Hey friends, it's Stacy with Stacy Makes. Welcome back to this channel where we talk about all things crochet plushies, usually markets, new patterns, things like that. So thank you for being here. If you are new and you like this video, like and subscribe. And if you are not new, thank you for coming back to this channel. I appreciate you. So we're going to get right into my week, and I'm going to preface everything that I have to show you with another. It was just a heck of a week this week. I don't know how to describe it. Pulled in a million directions, lots of stuff on my schedule, struggled a lot just to organize myself and find a plan and an action. And when I did have time, it was just like I was just so overwhelmed with everything going on that I just was a little decision paralyzed, which I do get a lot. So I did accomplish, I say that, and then I'm going to show you the stuff, and you may be like, what do you mean? You did a lot this week. But I could have done more, but family comes first. Things just happen, and that kind of stuff just needs to be on your schedule and be a priority. So that was the kind of week that I had again this last week. So hopefully this coming week I'll get some more time, because I am only 4 weeks away from our very first show that kicks off the market season for the fall. That will be very, very busy. And I have a lot of catching up to do to hit my goals, which at this point my goals were just someplace to like trying to level set kind of what I thought I wanted to try to accomplish. And that way I can try to hold myself accountable to something. If I don't have any kind of goal, I just kind of willy-nilly like, oh, I think, I needed to push myself to try to do market inventory as much as I could. That way that I knew that I wouldn't stress myself in the fall. But I also didn't want to stress myself now. So that's where the balance comes in, setting goals, but being okay with not hitting them, and you have what you have, and I'm going to go to the markets with what I have. And if I sell nothing at the first show, then I'm going to have a heck of a lot for the second one. If I sell everything out, I'm going to have a lot to do in 3 weeks time. So, but every market's 2 to 3 weeks apart, which gives us time to recoup, some inventory. And then of course, Tara sets up with me. So I have a partner in this, which is also amazing, that, when I feel like I don't produce, she's also already producing, which, that's helps fill the booth. So, anyway, we're going to get right into this week, and I'll give you a little summary of what I am going to talk about today. I do have 3 more yarns. If you have been following along the last few weeks, I'm trying to find a dupe for Sweet Snuggles Light to fill in some color gaps. And I have tried 9 yarns so far, and I have 3 more today. And then I think I have 1 more on the way. I know I have at least 1 more on the way. And it's one that was suggested by people who have watched, which Elise Voluto, I think I don't know how you say that, but it's on the way. It had to come straight from Turkey, I think. And so it's taking a little more time to get here. But I do have that one on the way, and other people did say that that's, to them, it is a dupe. So we'll see how that one works out. So I do have 3 new yarns today. So not as many, but I do have 3. I have obviously what I made this week that I'm going to talk about. And then I'm going to talk about my new pattern that's going to be releasing this week. And then we're going to talk about some schedule changes. So let's get right into the yarn. This is my Control Sweet Snuggles Light Mini Stingray. If you've been following along, I've been making a mini stingray out of every yarn to just compare texture, size, how it works up, so on. Let's start with the smallest. This is, I know this is backwards to you, but it's Omoiut. I don't know how to say that, but it is just a generic-ish brand of yarn. I had to buy it, I think, in a 12-pack. So this is just one of the 12 colors that I got. This is 100 grams and 87 yards. So if you watched last week, I decided to start buying based on yardage per 100 grams to try to get closer to Sweet Snuggles Light, because I was getting super thin yarns that were 100 grams, 130 or 100 yards, and they were just way too thin. So this is exactly how many yards there are in 100 grams for Sweet Snuggles Light, but I think it's a lie. This was not near thick enough, plushy enough. So maybe their 100 grams is a little off. I used a 4.5 millimeter with this yarn, millimeter hook, because that's what I had to use to avoid holes. I'll show you a comparison of this yarn up to, so the green is my Sweet Snuggles Light. Well, my green on this side, I'll show you a color besides green. So the green is Sweet Snuggles Light, and the yellow is the other yarn. You can tell it's just not plushy enough. It's got a it's very much has a sheen to it that it's just super shiny. Sweet Snuggles Light is kind of, it's not shiny, it's a little more dull, which I like. I mean, anyway, so that is the yarns together. And then let me show you, this is the Stingray that I made, which I wasn't a huge fan of how the tie-dye yarn worked up, just kind of. And this is the Sweet Snuggles Light. So you can tell that these are obviously not the same size. This one's quite a bit smaller. This would not work well to be a complete replacement, and it's definitely got a shiny, and even like you would do a stitch and then like my magic ring even like kept coming open, like I had to pull it, and then I ended up like weaving it in and tying it because it was so slick against itself that it kept undoing it. So I didn't have a problem doing a magic ring for that reason, but it definitely, the sheen is definitely more like the velvet, retro velvet from Premier, or the Juicy Couture velvet. I mean, it's more sheen like that. So this definitely was not the find, but I do have 12 little balls of yarn, and I think it was not expensive to get 12. And of course I bought 12 because I had to. It didn't come in anything less than that I found anyway. I ordered it on Amazon, and there was a whole bunch of colors in there, and I thought, worst case scenario, I get them and it's more of a parfait chunky weight, which it is. It's got a ton of colors that I can intermix for keychains and stuff like that. Or, you know, maybe I'll just pack it up and send it to somebody else who could use it. So that's yarn number one. Yarn number two that I tried was, there is no like brand on here. This was just, obviously it's Chinese or Japanese, I'm not sure. And it came, I bought it off of Amazon. It says Snowball really small like there, and I don't know if that's it says designed by Snowball right next to that thing. It's 100 grams to 80 meters, which, let's see, this one is 80 meters as well. So it's the same amount of yards. Sorry, I have a hair in my face. It's the same, it weighed the same as Sweet Snuggles Light. So again, I was super excited that I was going to find a dupe here, because both of these were exactly 100 grams, is 87 yards, which is what Sweet Snuggles Light calculates out to. I was able to use a 5 millimeter hook with this one instead of a 4.5. Let me show you, obviously, the differences in the two. Again, Sweet Snuggles Light is just plushy all the way around. If you spin it, you don't see the cord. It's plushy all the way around. These yarns, they get flat, and they're not plushy all the way around. They flatten at certain spots. I'll spin it a little bit and you can see what I'm talking about. But see how it's like flat there, and then it's just not plushy. It's not like round and tubular all the way around. So that was its first miss, was that I knew it wasn't going to be as plushy, thick. And it has got a sheen to it. You can tell it's shiny. I used a 5 millimeter hook though, instead of a 4.5 like the last one. And this is the way it came out. So you can tell, again, it is smaller. I don't know if I can get, if I get these two together, you can kind of tell. They're almost the same size. I use different hook sizes, but I can tell more in person that the blue one is slightly bigger than the tie-dye one. So, but there it is. Not the one that I was looking for, not the texture I was really looking for. So again, not a winner. And then I had a viewer, Mariah, I think it was Mariah, sorry if I'm wrong about that, messaged me on Instagram and said, I think this yarn is a good dupe for Sweet Snuggles Light. So I ordered a ball of it, and it's called Hobby Mia, and it says Velvet XL. It is 100 grams, 74 yards, so it's even less yards per gram. So I thought there was a possibility that I would get it, and it was actually bigger than Sweet Snuggles Light. It is, for the most part, plushy all around. I'm going to try to find a piece that's not like smashed from the ball. Here. I'm doing a great job of being a hand model today. But you can tell here, it is a little bit more, if I twist it and turn it, it is a little more consistent and stays a little more plushy all the way around, doesn't flatten. If you can tell though, here, it is, got a tiny bit more of a, it says Velvet XL, but it's got a tiny bit more of a blanket yarn texture to it than Sweet Snuggles Light does. I mean, this is just, it's smooth all the way up and down. This one is, it flattens a little. I mean, it's wider there than when I turn it sideways. It gets a little skinnier. But, and again, it's got more of a blanket yarn, a little bit of a blanket yarn texture to it. Now, if I worked these two in the same project, I think that they would work together in a project. Same hook, everything. But I think you would be able to tell there was a slight texture difference between the color changes. That would bother some people and not bother others. It could possibly, depending on the project, seem intentional, I think. So it's kind of the trade-off, but here is my, I did use a 5.5 millimeter hook, which is what I used for this one. And if you can tell, it's almost just very, very slightly bigger than my blue one. It's maybe a little bit thicker. Again, there was only 74 yards per 100 grams, which kind of, I wondered when I got it in if it would be. You could almost use a 6 millimeter hook with this, but I think that if you used it like as stripes in the project or something, like you use this for the whole dino and then you use this for some stripes or a round or two or the end of the foot, and then you continued on with this, I don't know that you would notice it too horribly much. It's, I don't know if you can really tell the difference, but it's really just a little bit bigger in person. And I only have that one pink, so I don't know that I'm going to invest a ton in this. I'm really excited to get the last yarn that I have coming, that other people suggested, because it looks like it's the same texture as this. And if it's the same weight and density, and I think it will be the dupe that I'm looking for, even if it takes a long time to get here. So that's what I got this week in new yarn, is the Hobby Mia, the Omoit, maybe, and then this stuff that was designed by Snowball that I can't read Chinese or Japanese. I'm sorry, I don't know what it says. But these are the three I had this week. So I did make 3 stingrays this week, guys. They're going to go in my $5 bin because I am doing this project, but then also that's helping me build my $5 stingray inventory. So that's all I had for the new yarns this week. Hopefully you've been enjoying that little dive into other yarns and seeing the textures. Maybe you've been looking for a dupe for something else that I've showed you that's helped you maybe find something that substitutes for Parfait Chunky or Burnette Velvet or something like that. So maybe I've hopefully I've helped you in some way. Let me know down in the comments if you've enjoyed that part. I'm going to be done for a while buying yarn. One, I didn't need all of those yarns. I was really just trying to find something to use with Sweet Snuggles Light, and I wasn't going to go that far down the rabbit hole, but it was just like I just didn't want to lose. I do have one more that I ordered, and it's this yarn Art Dolce. When I got this in, I immediately knew that it wasn't going to be the same, and I didn't work it up. And maybe next week when I work up the Elise Voluto, whatever that yarn is, maybe I'll work this one up for you guys as well, just so that you can see it. Because someone did ask, well, have you tried the yarn Art Dolce? And I'm like, I have it, but it is 100 grams, 131 yards. To me, this is more parfait chunky. And it is definitely got the same. The texture is great. Like, the texture is wonderful. It's consistent. Where did my sample string go? I don't have a stingray made in this one, but I can talk about it again next week. But the texture is on point for sure. It's just not, I don't think it's quite as thick. So we'll see next week about that one, if I get a chance to make that one up, and when I get the Elise Voluto yarn, and I'll try that one as well for you guys. Okay, let's move on to what I made this week. Let's start with new patterns. I did 2 pattern tests this week, which I had been applying to a test here and there for months and really hadn't been picked for anything. And I only apply to stuff that I think that if I make it, I can sell it and it'll go to my markets. I think I'll enjoy making it, because I don't want to be picked for something like that's totally not my thing, and then I'd be forced to test it. Oh, my hair's crazy. Be forced to test it, not forced, but I got myself into something when somebody else loves that pattern or loves that thing that much more, you know, and so I only do things I think I will enjoy. And so I happened to apply for 2 pattern tests last week, and I got picked for both of them, which I was super excited about. But one came like the day after the other, and I remember this overwhelming feeling I already had this week. And it was just like I was getting no time to crochet, and then I'm like, oh, now I have deadlines. So maybe I'm gonna go, yeah, I'll talk about the pattern tests first. So the first one I got into was Knots and Snuggles. It's this cow, which was a pretty big project in itself this week. So I'll bring her back. I'm going to call her Neapolitan because she's kind of made in like chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, ice cream Neapolitan colors. She is like a sitting. She sits. Her tail is just like adorable, the way that you do the chain loops on the end. My ears are a little different. You can kind of fold the ears down like this, or you can try to get them to stick out. This was super fun. It includes a lot of sewing. The arms are crocheted in the round, and that's about it. And I did all of it in Sweet Snuggles Light, which means that for like the 2.5 days it took me to make this and the sewing, that I was covered in fluff, but I loved it. It's so soft, and it was the right move to do Sweet Snuggles Light for sure. Pattern is well written. She has a lot of this style, the sitting style like this, where the arms kind of come between the legs. She's got a moose and a Highland cow, and I don't know what all she's got, but I know she's kind of working in a series like I am with my animals. So just super cute. And these really pretty glittery gray eyes. She's just adorable. So this is Neapolitan. That's what I'm naming mine. That's not what her pattern's named. I don't know if she's got a name for her cows, or she just names them like sitting cow or something. But this is releasing, I think, on the 16th. So maybe not until Friday. It's still with testers for a few more days. When I do get a tester call, I finish the project I'm working on, and then I like to just jump right into that tester call, so it's not hanging over me or making me feel pressured all week. And I'm glad I did, because I had the arms and legs I think I had done when I got picked for the next pattern test, and I was like, good, okay, I'm like a couple days away from finishing this one. So, but it is super adorable. I love the profile, the shape. It wasn't, I mean, I would say anything that has this many pieces and this much sewing and things in it, that it is more of an intermediate or a really advanced beginner style pattern. So super cute. She's adorable. I love her. I'm going to price her at $50. Even if she doesn't sell. Like, I priced my Camille the Sitting Cow, which is a similar but different shapes, but I priced Camille the Sitting Cow at $45, and I had 2 and Tara had 1, and all 3 of them sold at the Strawberry Festival. And they were, this is also probably 2.5 hours worth of work. And those were also, and to me that, I mean, we priced them at that because we were afraid for the size we wouldn't get them, but like when someone just falls in love with it, it's like they just didn't bat an eye, you know, like you just have to find the perfect person, and I'm okay holding on to this for a while it finds its perfect person, and I think I'm going to do 50 so that I get what I really need out of it. So cute, cute, cute. Knots and Snuggles is the Instagram, which I'll always put it in the description below. And it's just adorable. So testers are still working on their colors and things, are still working on their cows and different colors and things, and they're just so cute. So that was the first thing I did tester call wise. And then I got into Melly's mystery tester call. So I knew though it was probably one of her teeny babies, and I hadn't done a teeny baby. I tested her very first sleepy baby, the elephant, when she put out tester calls for that, which was her very, very first pattern, the elephant was, and I did that one, Samba, and I loved that pattern. So I thought, I hadn't tried the teeny size yet, so I applied for that, and I had no idea what animal it was going to be. And I think it's funny because I'm working on next on my list, well, I have a list of like 5 or 6 animals I want to work on for my collection, and this animal is on my list. And then I see that everybody's kind of popping up with, it's just crazy. I feel like in this community that like, it's like everyone else's mind is also going to that exact same list of animals. Like, how do we do that? I don't know. But anyway, so I ordered some Premier had a big summer sale a week or 2 ago, and I ordered in, it's called Himalaya Toffee. I'll show it to you guys. Himalaya Toffee is what it's called. It's a pretty thin string. It's just like a string it's fuzzy. And when I got the pattern, this one's called Party, it says. Okay, Himalaya Toffee. And I had never worked with anything this texture before. It's like a microfibery kind of texture. And I got yellow, brown, and this gray. And I think it was like $5 or $10 for a bag of 5. I got 5 for $5 or $10, and I thought that would, if nothing else, that would be really great for accents. So when I got the pattern from her, because I had no idea what animal it was going to be, I'm like, yes, I can use this. I just gotten it in actually, but I'm like, I knew exactly what I wanted to do, but I hadn't used the yarn before, which was probably not the brightest choice to take a yarn that I've never used and double and then paired with another type of yarn and went in, but I'm like, I'm just going to go in. I'm going to make the first, I think it was, you start with an arm, and I'm like, you do the ears, but I'm going to start with the arm, and I'm going to do this thing. And I got one arm done, and I'm like, ooh, I did good pairing the yarn weights and things together, doubling up the toffee with Sweet Snuggles Light is what I did. And then I got one arm done though, and I'm like, it's really hard to see my stitches. I can feel them great, but like if I get down with a round and like I get to the end of it and it's like I had another single crochet to do and I'm at the last one, I'm like, somewhere I've missed something. There was no trying to count back very well. Like you almost had to try to frog back, and then I had it doubled up, so you had to make sure to catch both strings. It was a challenge in itself. I probably should have just done something super normal, but I love the outcome. And so this is Melly's new mystery pattern called Gideon the Gorilla. And here he is. Oh my gosh, guys. Isn't he just like so adorable? I ended up just doing normal black eyes on him. I put several different types of like glittery and fun eyes, and I'm like, nope, he just needs normal eyes here. So this fluffy, it's not really, I don't know if I really call it fluffy, but this texture is on like pillow pets maybe, like, or other stuffed animals that are fabric. It almost looks like a fabric, doesn't it? Because you can't even see that it's crocheted. It's kind of neat. But then I obviously used Sweet Snuggles Light. This is silver, which I thought was great because, you know, there's like silver-backed gorillas and things. And anyway, isn't it just adorable? Like, it's so cute. And it's like, here he is in my hands. He is just too cute. Okay, so I made Gideon. The pattern was great. I think that it releases, let's see, this week sometime. She did not give a date. Everybody has to finish testing by Tuesday, and then she's going to be doing her release sometime after that when she can get to all of the edits and everything get released. So super, super cute. By the way, I Googled it because I needed to know. And gorillas don't have tails. So I was like, okay, what am I going to make the tail? And I'm like, okay, this is not a monkey. They're not the same. But I Googled it. I'm like, nope, gorillas don't have tails. Good job, Millie, knowing that gorillas don't have tails. Because I didn't know. I would have Googled it if I was going to make a gorilla. I would have, in a pattern, I would have looked at what the tails looked like so I could make it. And then probably be like, oh, they don't have them. Okay. Anyway, super cute. I love him. Gideon the Gorilla. Will I use this yarn again? I probably will. I mean, I really, really liked, I love the way it turns out. And the shape that she did for like the head to the little body and the little arms. Oh my gosh, it's just adorable. So cute. So I'm going to price Gideon at 30 is what I have down. I know that he's tiny-ish, but between the yarn type, the delaying, I mean, it takes me a little bit longer because of the type of yarn and stuff. And then just, we're going to see how 30 does. Okay. So that's Gideon by Melly Inspired Crochet, releasing sometime this week. Again, I'm going to put all these down in the description for you. I won't have a link straight to the pattern itself. I'll have a link to Melly's Instagram probably, and to there where you can watch for her release, and then she'll have links for you. Okay, other new patterns that I did this week. Yeah, almost everything I did this week was new. So, my friend Manda, made by Manda Mal, released a free keychain pattern for a ghost and a pumpkin, and I did a really quick workup of both of these for her. I did like parfait glitz. You can see the glitz in it, kind of, maybe glitz, and this one's just regular parfait. I'm going to add keychains to them and add them to my $6 keychain bins. So I have these done. So made by Manda Mal, free on Instagram. Again, I'll have her Instagram link down below, and she's got a YouTube channel. If you don't watch it, you should check it out. Okay, next was this Chubby Chick, which was a free pattern as well on Instagram by Chanel's Crochet. And it's looked so much smaller. It looked so much smaller in her picture. And there wasn't a whole lot of, I think it's adorable, but there was not a whole lot of instruction on how to actually attach this strawberry topper and make it look normal. And it ended up taking me forever to like tack down every single leaf. And I'm like, I'm not really sure that's what I was supposed to do. So if anyone's made this pattern or makes it a lot, because I feel like people make this duck with a hat thing. She has a frog or the strawberry. And I don't know if this is the pattern everybody uses for that. It's just one that I had saved in my Instagram. But if anybody does this in a special way that like is easier than what I did, which was go in and like grab the end of every leaf, and then it's not even, and then it was just a whole thing. I felt like it took a ton of time. If I was going to make this again, what I would probably do, because it's all one piece, the hat and the duck is all one piece, I would probably just let it be a duck with a bucket hat on. And I probably wouldn't try to make it into a strawberry or a frog or anything. I would just make a bunch of ducks with a bunch of different hat colors on. I'm going to do 12 on this. So my $12 bends, this is Premier Basics Chenille, so it's a blanket yarn, but it's a little bit lighter than Burnett. So really fun pattern though. But again, wasn't a whole lot of sewing instructions on for the hat, which with a free pattern, you know, sometimes there's just, it's hard to get everything into slides on Instagram, and to some degree it's meant for it's free, right? So if you are not, I think it even says on there intermediate crocheter or something. So if you can't figure it out yourself, then it wasn't probably designed for your skill level, I guess is kind of how that works in the free pattern area. So anyway, it's cute. Cute, cute, cute. I think I'll go forward at some point maybe and make different colored hats. And then, I mean, it was fast. So $12 for that little chubby duck. And then I finished, if you saw my reel, you saw this mermaid already. Okay, guys, like, you're not allowed to make fun of her. She's really sensitive. Okay, she was born this way. She looks beautiful from the back. This is Stitch Sister Co's mermaid pattern, which I have made before. And I sold the last one at the last show that I had. So I'm like, I need to make a few more. And I had Premier Basics chenille out because I made the duck. So I'm like, I got all the colors out to make a mermaid. I'll just make a mermaid. This is before the pattern test got chosen. And so I thought I had time. And there's different tail options. So I thought I'll try a different tail option, which I really like this tail option. And I thought I'll do embroidered eyes on her because the last time I did the mermaid, I just made like a nose part and I had no eyes, which I think might be what I do going forward unless I make like a sleepy eye. I just really didn't want to have plastic plushy eyes in it. I wanted it to be baby friendly. It's like a really good baby like hug size, and I sold the last one, and the mom had told me later, I ran into her at the handbag bingo and she's like, she's been sleeping with that and carrying it everywhere for days. So it was so sweet. Okay, her eyes, horrible. Okay, I'm gonna be taking her eyes out. I know that sounds painful, but I promise that she won't feel a thing. And I'm gonna take them out, and I'm either gonna redo them with just a sleepy eye, or I'm just gonna leave them out. And if you can kind of see, I make like a little nose across here. And she is cute. I mean, I love her little arms and her hair. I did the option where you do the increases at the end and then you just do regular single crochets so that it only curls on the end. Super cute. And then I kind of tacked back some of the front pieces, so it kind of pulls the bangs back and makes the hair go out of her face, so you can kind of tell which side is the front. So super cute Stitch mermaid, Stitch Sister Co. This is Lolly the mermaid, which has options for hair, options for tails, things like that. So super cute. I'm gonna do 20 on these. Made that this week. And the last thing that I finished this week, and I did not go in order, guys, this was just kind of random, but the last thing I finished this week was my Hippo pattern. I think I showed you guys a preview of maybe the head last week. I did finish writing him. I got the tester call out. I picked my testers. The tester call ends tomorrow. So tomorrow everyone has to be done, have their pictures to me, and then I'm going to try to release on Tuesday. So, but here is the hippo. I made little toe beads, which if you did like an all gray one, you could just not color change. It's like optional in the pattern. His little tail. I had to look up what hippo tails look like, guys. But cute little tail. Little nostrils out. You do some face shaping here, and his little ears that just stick up. I did like 23mm holographic eyes. So again, he's just the same size as my other sitting animals. I do almost every one of my sitting animals has a face shaping option where you do a little bit of pulling like yarn through to shape some, and this one has it like right here so that you can kind of pull this in. And then also they have an optional head tack down, so I tack my heads down. Once I get them done, they sit up this way, so like this would be up higher, and then I do a tack down here. After I get done sewing the head on, I come around and we tack the head down into the round right below the arms so that it kind of pulls his head. So when he's sitting, you can see the front of his face and his eyes a little bit better than them being up like this. So I tack it and pull it. He probably hates it because it gives him a double chin, just like when I do that. Anyway, I haven't named Hippo yet. I'm letting my testers suggest names, and I'm going to pick from their name suggestions. So I'm hoping that's all completed tomorrow. I'll get my tester appreciation done, my pattern feedback inputted. I think there was just a few little minor things and maybe some just suggestions, like the pattern wasn't wrong, but they're like, hey, if I was you, I would add this little thing over there, a little note or whatever. So hopefully it won't take me very long, and this will come out on Tuesday. And I'm going to do 22 on the hippo. Okay, you guys have seen everything I made. It was a total of $161 this week. Sorry, somebody is here. Okay, sorry about that. I have a window over here and I can see the road, and I have somebody picking up something from my house today that I sold them, and somebody was like pulled up to the end of my driveway and stopped there, and I was like, is that them? But they weren't supposed to come till later. So anyway, all is well. All is well, and I am back, and I had no idea what I was saying. Oh, I made $161 worth of stuff this week. And if you saw what my goals were, I was trying to hit $200 to $250 every single week to stay on track to make my $4,500 to $5,000 in inventory before my first fall show. So I am incredibly behind, but that's okay because that was my own goal. Nobody's making me bring that. And I will have some time, and I will find time to get enough done, right? And what I bring is going to be enough, and what I have is going to be enough. And just remember that it is not worth driving yourself mad to make inventory that you may or may not even sell. And just drive yourself crazy trying to hit a certain goal. Like, set yourself goals if that helps you, but remember that you are in charge and that you can change them if you want. And if you don't hit them, that you need to give yourself grace, and that you can't predict the future, right? Your crystal ball does not tell you that you are going to have kids that need you more this week, or that you're going to have meetings dropped into your schedule, or you're going to have a pet get sick, or, you know, a family member get hurt, or whatever it might be, you know, water in your basement. I mean, so it's just, things happen. And so just give yourself grace. And if you do crochet in markets because it's something that you love, try to keep it that way, right? Like, if you make yourself a goal to make a bajillion keychains, and you're making keychains and sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, I hate this, because you're making yourself do it because you wrote it down, right? You can change your mind. Okay? You can say, you know what? I'm not going to make keychains. I'm hating this. I don't like it right now. I'm going to switch to something I enjoy, because it's supposed to be something that you enjoy. I get that for some of you, the money that you get from this is either your full-time income, or it is a side income that you highly depend on. But also, I feel like it needs to be something that, you know, and if that is the case and you're pushing yourself and hating it because of that, but you know that that's what's going to sell, and that's your bread and butter, and that's how you're going to feed your family, that's one thing, right? But if you are doing it as a side hustle and you just love crochet and you're just trying to find some way to get, you can change your mind, okay? It's okay. Give yourself grace. It's okay to shift gears. It's okay to say that that's not working for me, and do something different, you know? Or do nothing if you need to for a while. If your hands are hurting, or the inspiration is just gone, or you have been wanting to work on something for yourself for a long time and you have not made a priority of it, and you have a bunch of inventory, and you decide that you want to make a cardigan instead, make a cardigan, okay? So anyway, just a little, also, that was for me. That TED Talk was just for, a lot of that was just for me. That it's okay. I'm giving myself grace. I'm going to get done when I get done. I need to do what I enjoy. And markets are something that I love, because I love watching people fall in love with the stuff that I make. And I love the money to some degree, because it gives me money to buy more yarn. And then it gives me the ability to crochet more in my free time. And I get to spend time with my oldest daughter, Tara, which is just a blessing in itself, that we can have that bond and we can do that thing together. So, okay. That is what I made this week. So that rolls me into what I was telling you guys about with schedule changes. We're getting, things are kind of popping into my schedule. School's getting ready to start. I think that we're going to be changing some of the stuff that we're doing on the weekends. And so it may or may not change my posting schedule. Right now, I never said anywhere I promised a video every Sunday morning, but that's what I've done for myself to stay consistent. Is I've gotten up Sunday mornings, I recorded, I've edited, I upload in the afternoons after I get it exported, and that's just kind of what I've been doing. And that's been working for me, but I might be still giving you a video every week, if not, sorry, my yarn stack fell over there. I might still be giving, I still plan to give you a video and not go longer than a week without one, but it may be like a Friday, and then the next week it's on Wednesday, and then the next week it's on Saturday. I don't know right now, but I'm also going to give myself grace and take the pressure off of myself to do every single Sunday, and it has to be Sunday morning. So we might be changing what our Sunday morning routine kind of looks like, and so that means that maybe Sunday mornings won't be available to me anymore, and then Saturdays are going to start being some markets, and so it just may change some, or it may stay on Sundays. I may tape it through the week and upload Sundays, but I really like it to be up to date and like the latest thing that's happened to me, instead of it posting on a Sunday and it being like 3 weeks video, you know, from 3 weeks ago. So just an FYI. So subscribe. I mean, if you go looking every Sunday for my video, which, I mean, I doubt there's anybody that really does that, but if you expect it on Sundays and you're like, where did she go? And it ends up being on Monday or whatever it might be, just subscribe so you get a notification so you don't miss it, because it might be a little bit more random in the future. So there's that. Forgive me in advance. Because again, grace. I do YouTube because it's fun for me. I love the interaction and the community, and it keeps me motivated and holds me accountable. And I just love this community that we've all got here, right? And I do it for that reason. But I have to put, you know, family and stuff first, and our schedules met, you know, and I don't want to stress myself, and I mean, unnecessarily is the word I was looking for, because I can move it. Again, it's my schedule. I said it. I'm the boss. I can do that. So anyway, okay. I don't think I have anything else for you guys. Watch again for Millie's Gorilla, releasing sometime this week. Watch for Knots and Snuggles Cal, releasing the 16th, also this week. And then watch for Hippo sometime this week as well. On my Etsy, watch my Instagram. So if you're not there, I post almost every day on Instagram, and to my stories kind of give a little bit more what's going on and what I'm working on there. You can stay tuned there as well if you're wanting more behind the scenes and stuff like that. And last but not least, before I leave today, my dear friend Robin from Sweet Beans Crochet was affected by Hurricane Debbie last week and lost almost everything. Lots of yarn, furniture, almost, you know, her house, it was up waist high. They tried to move things high, but even the stuff they moved high ended up under the water when the water came in, you know, waist plus deep in there, and it was swampy, nasty water. They really don't know yet at this point, you know, about the actual home itself, which I think she lives on her dad's property. That's her dad's home, but she lost a lot of things. So she has a link tree if you want to help her recover from that loss. She lost, you know, obviously a lot of her crochet supplies, yarn or polyfills or painting eye stuff. I don't even know what all at this point. Her pets are safe, and so she is safe, and she has got a place to stay temporarily. But I'm going to put her link tree that she has down in the description below. And if you feel the need to, she has the link tree contains a place where you can Cash App, GoFund, but also she has an Amazon wish list as well. And then there are some people, generous people in the crochet community who are running pattern sales or deals, or Madeline Mako released her Coraline pattern. It's supposed to be a Patreon exclusive, but she released it for a very limited time on Etsy, and all the proceeds are going to Robin. So I just love how the community's coming together for her. And so if you love Robin too, or even if you don't know Robin and you just love this community and you want to find some way to help her, that link tree is also going to be down below if you want to check that out to help my friend Robin. So, okay, that is all I have today, guys. I will see you in the next video. Not much is going to change this week. We're going back to school. I'm going to just try to make everything I can make this week, and I will be back with you guys with the what I made sometime in the next week. Maybe on Saturday, since I don't have a market. I don't know yet. But I will see you guys in that video. Watch for it. And I appreciate you being here. If you like this kind of content, you know, like, subscribe, do the thing, get notifications by subscribing. It's free. And you guys have a great week and happy crocheting. We'll see ya.